spreading subversive and hostile messaging over the last few weeks across London are not the work of several people, as was originally believed, but the work of an individual. The criminal, suspected to have links with the terrorist group THANKS, is marked as potentially dangerous. Authorities recommend not to approach the individual.
First, they came for the foreigners, and I did not speak out because I was not a foreigner. Then they came for the protesters, and I did not speak out because I was not a protester. Then they came for the journalists, and I did not speak out because I was not a journalist. And then they came for street artists, but I did not speak out because I am not a street artist. Eventually, they'd come for me, and there would be no one left to speak for me.
Right! Oh! Nice! Where are we off to, sir?
It's fine! I'll show you the way!
Okay! Sorry, miss. Jesus! All right, so we're in a total mess now, so let's get the hell out of here.
And there's nothing more debilitating than that.
Right.
This way, not to be able to do what you're passionate about.
After a long night, London is in chaos. The main arteries through the city are blocked. Hundreds of heavily armed Albion...
Well. Welcome to the Resistance. There's a welcome gift for our new members.
But the disappearance of the criminal...
You could have told me it was a bloody costume party.
Try it on.
The new key suspect has been identified as David Ford, a 43-year-old London taxi driver. He has no criminal record, but is currently believed to be a terrorist. People have been asked not to approach him. The authorities advise all residents...
Our London town. A modern metropolis. Built on history and prosperity. Only took 12,000 years to build it up, and one night to tear it all down.
Oh my God.
Listen up. Get all your units to move in and lock down the city.
With London under attack by a mysterious terrorist, the government turns to a private military company called Albion to keep everyone safe. What could possibly go wrong? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nigel Cass, CEO of Albion. He's kindly stepped up to establish order.
Understand this. I will not allow anyone, not even myself, to jeopardize this.
he will stop at nothing to permanently control the city.
London will be the first city in the world to be made truly safe.
Nigel's not the only opportunist who's taken a liking to this fair city. Meet Mary Kelly, head of the most powerful crime syndicate in London.
Be sure and spread the word.
She and her goons are using the dark web to sell everything from party pills to people.
This microchip is scary, I know, but I got to keep tracks on my merchandise, don't I?
You made me a slave.
You do not want to ruffle her feathers. With the city out on its arse, it now falls on you to build a resistance and take back London.
All right, everyone. Faces on, guns out.
Any of the brave Londoners you see walking the streets can be recruited into your team. Like him. Her. Or even her. Everyone could become your next secret weapon. In our first mission, we need to get some dirt on Nigel Cass, and that means breaking into Albion headquarters inside the Tower of London. All the hardy souls you see here are people we have recruited from the streets of London. They all have unique abilities, and you're free to tackle this mission with whoever you like.
Dear God, my eyes.
Badly?
Zip up, get to work, and let's never talk about this again.
Like everyone in DedSec, Arthur can hack pretty much whatever. But as a construction worker, he has a particular set of tools that make him handy. He can even call his own cargo drone. Perfect for gate crashing, when you're not invited. And who needs a regular old gun when you have a bloody nail gun?
Come here, you soidoid shitboard. Jesus Christ, what is that thing?
Perhaps we could approach this mission differently. If you'd rather keep your distance, we've got you covered. Amy is a drone expert.
What have we here?
A real tech connoisseur.
Hate spiders, but love this one.
What an adorable creepy crawler.
Here we are. Let's class the place up.
A drone expert does have the unique ability to summon their own drone. This little darling is fast and stealthy.
She aims, she fires, she hits.
I'm reading incoming drones.
She can also hack enemy drones, turning the tide in her favor. And if you are not into direct confrontation, there are more ways than one to get the job done. Recruiting an Albion officer like Brielle here might be challenging, but it'll get you inside restricted Albion areas.
Don't mind me, just doing recon for a bunch of insurgents.
However, do anything suspicious and she'll probably wind up with a bullet in the back of her head.
You've been approved for entry.
We're missing the human element here. I can get the Defence Minister on the line right now.
Well, if you feel you must. Criminals running our streets, illegals threatening our families, the police commissioner himself, assassinated by terrorists.
Well, that seems to be enough evidence. Next up, we're crashing Mary Kelly's organ farming operation and putting a stop to it.
That's good. The buyers expect high quality stuff.
And we need a hard nut for this.
Impairing our frontal lobe again, are we?
Bags, don't disturb me in my natural habitat.
Say hello to Mickey. The man lives for his team.
That put another hair on my chest.
And doesn't mind getting his hands dirty. He does have a slight drinking problem, though. And he's passed out. We'll come back to him. You know what? Let's go with someone a bit more professional. It's almost crass to call him a hitman. Some might even call him an artist. Here's the bastard responsible. Done and dusted.
Not bad if I do say so, innit?
Not everyone in London is a legendary assassin or a super spy, but everyone can be a hero. So get out there, find the best recruits, and build your resistance. It's time to take back London.
Yup, that's me. And in Watch Dogs Legion, it could be you. Or you could be a street artist, or a beekeeper, or any other citizen of London. They're all just a few favors away from joining DedSec, the hacktivist collective turned rebel group. Right now, I'm Dan Iyer, one of many immigrant construction workers helping build the future of this city. Or at least he is when he's not getting endlessly hassled by Albion, the private army that's taken over London, or helping DedSec accomplish its plans. Anyway, I bet you're wondering how I got here.
Which is suspicious timing, if you ask me.
It is. Can you think of anyone with a grudge against you?
I recruited Dan while playing as Catherine Lim, a spy working for DedSec. And when I say spy, I mean in the classic sense. Car that shoots missiles, watch that jams nearby firearms, and so on. Albion was giving Dan trouble, so I took care of that trouble by shutting down a car bomb that Albion was planning to pin on Dan. That was a pretty big favor, so Dan offered his allegiance in return, giving me instant access to construction sites with his innocuous orange vest and hard hat, as well as a nail gun ideal for securing loose ends, and even the ability to fly using his huge cargo drone. As Dan, my first real assignment from DedSec had me making contact with Hamish Balaji, an engineer who defected from Albion. His waterfront flat was just across the marina from a local CTOS hub that I could use to remotely hack his security, and I could have used a couple of convenient window washer lifts to get up there before exiting in style. But why hack your way to the top when you can fly? Construction workers may not seem like the most obvious choice for undercover work, but their ability to summon a cargo drone anywhere, anytime, not just from special drone stations like other operatives can, makes them an essential addition to anyone's roster of DedSec operatives. Accessing the CTOS hub, I saw Hamish had rather a lot of security. Shotgun-powered, in fact, but it was nothing I couldn't handle. Hamish wasn't happy about the intrusion, but once he figured out I was with DedSec, he decided not to blow me up, a courtesy he did not extend to the Albion troops who barged in after me. Surrounded and armed with nothing but a pig mask and a shock pistol, I legged it, shimmied up to a hidden ledge, and called in a cargo drone to make good my escape. Or wait, no, I didn't. Unless you're playing with permadeath, getting taken down by Albion or the cops means your operative will spend some time cooling their heels in jail. But in this case it didn't take too long because I'd had the foresight to recruit a barrister named Elena Vernidub to the cause, who got Dan's jail time reduced significantly. Meanwhile, if he'd been smacked down by criminals or run over by a car, having a paramedic on the team would have shortened his hospital stay.
Drone expert.
With all the operatives at your fingertips, you don't necessarily need to escape a mission for it to be successful so long as the main goal, in this case contacting Balaji, has been accomplished. So while I was waiting for Dan's release, the next mission kicked off anyway, and it fell to other DedSec operatives to infiltrate the Tower of London, which Albion's boss, Nigel Cass, had turned into his personal headquarters. After a few well-intentioned but ultimately unsuccessful tries, I chatted up a disgruntled Albion guard named Kennedy Dowd, who agreed to help out so long as I liberated a van full of drugs to help wean her friend, who'd been unwittingly addicted to them by a mob-controlled doctor. After convincing her to join, I stepped into Kennedy's shoes and sent her in to spy on the meeting, but there was a hitch. Someone had caught wind of her defection, and while the uniform was enough to avoid suspicion from a distance, anyone who got too close would recognize her as a spy. Luckily, a few phone and camera hacks let me distract any suspicious guards and slip past, and I walked right up to the meeting room just in time to see Cass shoot a man for questioning his authority.
No more debate.
With the HQ now on full alert, I turned on Kennedy's personal cloaking device and escaped through the haunted catacombs under the tower, always one step ahead of the mysterious sobs and whispers that echoed through its stone halls.
What the fuck?
As Kennedy emerged into the safety of the Thames, Dan emerged from jail, so I switched back to him and responded to an SOS beacon from someone who seemed to know a little too much about DedSec. This someone turned out to be Richard Malik, an analyst for the SIRS intelligence agency who suspected some of his own colleagues might be behind Zero Day, a mysterious entity that framed DedSec in a series of bombings that transformed London.
These pricks are going to blow up Parliament and hang it on us.
Not if you get to that detonator first.
When Malik didn't show up for our meeting, I immediately suspected foul play, and sure enough, Bagley, the all-seeing AI in the ear of every DedSec operative, pieced together some local CCTV footage to recreate the scene of his kidnapping. I tracked Malik to a local construction yard, called in Dan's cargo drone, and took an overwatch position high above the pit while hijacking another drone to drop explosive payloads on the unsuspecting guards while drawing their attention away from me. A couple of creative hacks helped me free Malik from his impromptu torture room, and with his help, I went on to infiltrate SIRS headquarters, hack their servers with the help of a handy spider drone, and make off with a list of possible spy agency malefactors. Not a bad day's work for a man in a hard hat, but it's just one story, and London's full of them. When Watch Dogs Legion arrives on October 29th for Xbox One, PS4, PC, and Stadia, and on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 when those platforms launch, you'll be able to recruit any of London's citizens that you find in the open world to your DedSec crew and start creating a few stories of your own. For more on Watch Dogs Legion and all things Ubisoft, subscribe to this channel and visit us at news.ubisoft.com.
Hey everyone, Mark Medina here, and today I wanted to show you the exact steps it took for me to recruit a random NPC to my DedSec roster in Watch Dogs Legion. First, I found someone I wanted to recruit. In this instance, it was a random politician named Marie. By scanning her using the Deep Profiler, I discovered that she had been hacking the National Health Service. So, we have a lead. I then got a recruitment mission that told me to get into the NHS database so Bagley, our AI friend, can take a look and do some digging. After doing this, we learned that she was actually fixing exploits found in their organ transplant database. So it turns out she does have an interest in the organ transplant list, but it lies more with preventing other people from hacking it. Okay, well it's time to set up a meet and figure out not only why she's doing this, but also what it would take to get her to join DedSec. I'll let the rest of the video play out so you can see all the steps it took to get this random NPC to join my roster. But of course, for much more on Watch Dogs Legion, be sure to stick with IGN.
So you're DedSec? Oh, this is amazing. I can't believe we're actually meeting.
We saw your work on the NHS. You've got skills.
Not good enough, though. The mob managed to steal hundreds of organs from the system before I locked them out.
Well, that's bad.
If I could get those organs back myself, I'd do it. But me against Clan Kelly, not a pretty picture.
Got it. Leave it to us.
Thank you. Help me and I'll help you back.
Our Grey Hat has already worked out the smuggling ring's headquarters. I'm passing the details to your optic.
I'll see what I can dig up. stupid. I got you, bro. Got the ride. What now?
I suppose our friend would like it if you took the organs to a hospital, but you could also technically eat them. I don't have a strong opinion either way. You're being followed. Try and lose them. That's done.
Hey, stop!
Yes, well done. I'll let the hospital staff know about this special delivery while you call our hacker friend.
Voila.
Nice. No one will be skipping the queue anymore. Clan Kelly's clients can wait just like everyone else.
You should totally join up with DedSec. Kick ass for a cause.
Hell yes. I'm in.
On a person down to their schedule requires you to upgrade the Deep Profiler. Getting to know them will tip you off to what they're looking for, and following up with their needs will unlock their recruitment mission. The Burrow Uprising system lets you take on missions to empower a burrow and give them a more positive outlook on DedSec. Some recruitments will be mandatory as part of the campaign, such as a guard, but you mostly have free reign. If you just want the best of the best, DedSec will mark a few people of interest on your map who have been predetermined as good recruits. The first person who caught my eye was an adorable old lady who was looking for some darts competition. So I met her at the pub and did just that. Winning led to her recruitment mission of investigating how her job replaced 300 workers who were laid off.
It's preposterous!
I could see this recruitment loop getting stale over time, but during my brief session, I adored every moment of it because I was doing it for my new potential teammate, and my reward was having her there for the rest of my adventure, despite the fact that the mission itself was nothing special. Unfortunately, she was arrested shortly after being recruited. You can go to the police station and potentially get folks out early, but the easier solution is to just switch to a different operative until the timer is up and they're playable again. Each character has their own loadouts, perks, professions, personalities, and backgrounds. Weapons and tools are shared across your team and can be swapped, but there are gadgets and guns that are locked to certain character types. Uniform access allows for certain characters to enter restricted areas more easily. So walking into a construction site as a construction worker meant it'd take longer for enemies to notice I didn't belong. My assassin had a slew of powerful guns at her disposal, while my graffiti artist had a paintball gun and would spray folks in the face after executing a takedown. Even across people from the same profession, there's some level of weapon variation. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed my time with Watch Dogs Legion and grew attached to the different characters, their arsenals, and their sparkling personalities. The lack of a primary main character doesn't detract from the story. Instead, it incentivizes exploring and immersing myself in a world I otherwise may have ignored in favor of mainlining the campaign. Make sure to read the full preview on IGN.com, and for everything else, you're already in the right place. IGN.
I'll buy you some time, just go.
Take him out!